Who was Beethoven's immortal beloved? After Beethoven's death in 1827, his assistant found a hidden drawer, and contained within it were pictures, money, and 2 letters. The first letter was dated 1802 and was sent to his 2 brothers, in which he laments his depression and anxiety at losing his hearing, and the other one was a 10-page note written to an anonymous woman he describes only as his immortal beloved. And here is the original on the left, and above me is the most famous extract from it, and it goes, "My thoughts go out to you, my immortal beloved. I can only live wholly with you or not at all. Be calm, my life, my all. Only by calm consideration of our existence can we achieve our purpose to live together. Oh, continue to love me. Never misjudge the most faithful heart of your beloved. Ever thine, ever mine, ever ours." I can't even get a text back today. Honestly, I think we've lost an art here. But never mind that. Who was she? Who was this woman who so captured his heart? This is a question that has torn historians apart for the better part of 200 years, and a lot of names have been suggested. Was it Julia Guicciardi, one of his pupils? Countess Teresa von Brunswick, another one of his pupils? Singer Amalie Sebold, who Beethoven definitely loved? Dorothea von Ertmann, another one of his pupils, and hopefully a bit older than she looks there? Baroness Teresa von Drobtik, who he definitely loved as well. Maybe it was Countess Anna Maria, Bettina von Armin. It was even suggested in the film Immortal Beloved, which is a very good film but not very accurate, that it was his sister-in-law, Johanna Beethoven. And although each of those women has their own supporters, they have largely been discounted by historians. Either they weren't around at the right time, the geography was just too far, that they were actually mates, or in the case of the sister-in-law, they actually hated one another. There are 2 leading contenders for who the immortal beloved might have been: Josephine Brunswick and Antonio Brentano. The reason that there are so many contenders is because Beethoven fell in love a lot, and it was always with unobtainable women, aristocrats, countesses, people that were never good accountants dating just a regular musician, even if he was a genius. In fact, Beethoven was what historians like to call a complex figure. I think if he was around today, you would be saying, Ludwig, maybe we need to go for an assessment. I think I see a touch of the tiz here. But that wasn't available back in the 19th century, so he was just an eccentric. He once fired a cook because he caught him in a lie and said that somebody who lies cannot be pure of heart, nor can they make a good soup. He believed that 60 coffee beans was the right amount for a perfect cup of coffee, no more, no less, and would count them out each day. His appearance was very dishevelled. He didn't seem to care what he looked like, to the point where friends of his would sneak new clothes into his apartments, which was described as an absolute tip, a proper mess. And he would just put them on, not realising that anyone had bought him new clothes. Let's get back to the letter. So it wasn't until the 1950s that research was done on the letter and they were able to pinpoint the year that it was written, and that was 1812. Now, because the letter was still there after he died, some historians think it was never sent, others think that it might have been sent and then sent back to him, and some have even suggested that what he had was a copy of another letter that he sent. We'll never know. So Antoni, there on the left, known as Toni, she was the daughter of an Austrian diplomat, and she was in the town of Karlsbad at the same time. Her and Beethoven were very, very close, so the geography all lines up. He actually wrote a piece of music for her, which the title of it was To My Beloved. Immortal Beloved, it's pretty close. And also in the secret drawer, there was a portrait of her. So there's a portrait of her with the letter. And you'd think slam dunk, oh, it's definitely her, that's definitely her. But wait, there is some skepticism here. Antonio Brentano was married, and happily married, not like any of the other women that Beethoven would go after, and he was really good friends with her husband. They were all kind of good mates together. So the impediment to this theory is that you'd need to buy into the idea that Beethoven, who, quirky as he was, does seem to have been a man of quite high principle, remember the soup and the lies, that he would have had to have been carrying on an affair with his best mate's missus under his nose. And that just doesn't seem very likely. Not impossible. I mean, people do stupid stuff, right? Alright, so the other woman, Josephine Brunswick, another member of the aristocracy and one of Beethoven's pupils, and he fell for her and fell for her hard. She was married, but then she became a widow, and during this brief period where she was unmarried, that seems to be when Beethoven made his move. And she was in Prague at the right time in 1812. And here's the kicker. In the 1950s, other love letters were discovered from Beethoven to Josephine, and they're very similar to the immortal letter. even recycling some of the phrases like forever mine, forever thine, forever yours or ours, I think it was in that one. And in those love letters, it does seem to suggest that the relationship was consummated. And even though Josephine didn't end up marrying Beethoven, she ended up going off with somebody else because he wasn't aristocratic enough. Here's the kicker. 9 months after she met up with Beethoven, we know that she gave birth. There's no evidence that that baby was Beethoven's, but a lot of historians think that it might have been. And she called that baby girl Minona. And when you reverse that, look what you get. Anonyme. As in anonymous. Was this child an illegitimate child? Was it Beethoven's child? It was never acknowledged if it was, that she could never have married Beethoven because then she would have had to have given up rights to her aristocratic children, so she didn't, she couldn't, and everybody ended miserably. But most historians agree that Josephine is the most likely candidate to be Beethoven's Immortal Beloved.